drama. Corn me, Dinkle.
Rand, I need another episode of Fully Cinematic.
The last time we saw the Good Luck Trolls, aside from that last holiday special, Branch had confessed to Poppy that he caught feelings for her not long after they saved their people from Barb the Rock Queen's and restored music and color to their world. 3 years later, the hairy little bastards are back and ready for another adventure. So let's catch up with Cloud Guy, Mr. Dinkles, and the rest of the ugly snack pack in their new movie, Trolls Band Together. And oh yeah, there will be spoilers. A remixed DreamWorks logo gives way to the first concert of a Brozone tour 1 minute away from showtime. The fun boy, Clay, Spruce, the heartthrob, Floyd, the sensitive one, and the leader, John Dory, prepare backstage. And making his concert debut, Biddy B is having a bad case of the jitters. When the show ends abruptly because of a disastrous pyramid on stage, the brothers quit one by one in the dressing room after Spruce and Clay air their resentments of JD, leaving Biddy B riddled with guilt and alone with Grandma. We soon learn that what we just saw were the memories of the present-day Branch, reminiscing while listening to an old Brozone record. We also find out that Branch's vest was originally Floyd's. He gave it to his baby bro as a parting gift. While the others recover from King Rissel's bachelor party, Poppy bursts into the house-turned bunker that Branch inherited from his grandma when she was eaten by the royal Bergen chef and questions his obvious sadness. Branch lies and accompanies her to the wedding of Gristle and Bridget amidst a citywide remix of We Are Family. But before the Bergen nuptials can be completed, a stranger interrupts the ceremony. Despite Branch's insistence that he doesn't know the guy, the wedding crasher reveals himself to be his oldest brother, John Dory. He exposes Branch as a former boy band member after Poppy condescendingly assumes that he resents being left out of the group, prompting him to refuse to rejoin because of his siblings' abandonment of him as a kid. But JD explains that he didn't even know Branch was alive until he got word of him helping to foil Queen Barb's plan for world domination in Trolls World Tour. When Poppy asks her dad, King Peppy, if he knew about Branch's family ties, he offers a nervous denial, telegraphing an upcoming plot twist with flashing neon letters. John Dory reveals that Floyd has been troll-napped and needs the brothers to hit the so-called perfect family harmony in order to shatter the diamond perfume bottle, then imprisons him on Mount Regis, where his talent is being siphoned off by overnight singing sensations and twin succubi Velvet and Veneer, who've been on the pop scene for 2 months and are scheduled to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. JD had already attempted a solo jailbreak that failed miserably. Now you see this motherfucker's goals had nothing to do with the Bergens whatsoever, so clearly stopping the wedding was completely unnecessary. Though Branch is still reluctant, Poppy of course accepts the suicide mission on his behalf, inviting herself along as well. The month-old Tiny Diamond, who was born during the last movie,
I'm the cutest little flower man.
Tags along, serving as the team's pilot, steering John Dory's pet armadillo monster, Rhonda. The first stop is Spruce's home on Vacay Island. Meanwhile, Bridgie and Grissy head off on their honeymoon on a motorcycle. Insisting that he be called Bruce now, the former crooner-turned-surfer has traded in his six-pack for love handles and has become a restaurateur since leaving the music business. He's also fathered a gang of kids with his giant wife, Brandy. The three brothers perform an impromptu boy band medley in order to prove to his crumb snatchers that he was actually in a band, and they bounce just in time to avoid catching pink eye from one of his chaps. Elsewhere, the twins' overworked assistant, Crimp, unveils the smoothie machines that she built into the shoulder pads of their jackets using her engineering training. But Velvet repurposes them to more efficiently siphon Floyd's skills for their upcoming show at the Rage Dome. Bruce tells everybody that his ankle biters are fans of the twins and their hit song, Watch Me Work. And after giving Rhonda a whiff of his old Thunder Draws, they find Clay, who's now a licensed CPA at a secret troll enclave in a formerly abandoned Bergen mini golf course. He quit the group in order to be taken seriously and now runs the place with Viva, who used to have a hug time bracelet just like Poppy's. She's also a motor mouth with boundary issues just like Poppy because they're, wait for it, sisters. A duet ensues, of course. When Poppy was a toddler, Viva escaped the troll tree during a Bergen attack and was believed to have been KIA. She hasn't left the golf course since and suffers from PTSD. Unwilling to believe that trolls and Bergens now live in peace, Viva's fear and controlling nature leads her to attempt to kidnap the group. When Clay frees him, she refuses Poppy's invitation to join them, and the latter leaves her scrapbook as a parting gift. Thinking that Floyd died, the twins plan to flush him, giving him the opportunity to briefly escape. He's recaptured when he tries and fails to play on Veneer's resentment of Velvet's disrespect. Because they believe JD's still bossy and obsessed with perfection, Bruce and Clay's old gripes resurface. But John Dory was actually the first to leave the group, and he moved to the wilderness to avoid having to be responsible for other people. Branch bails on the group when he realizes the brothers have no intention to stay together after the mission.
It was an error!
It dawns on Poppy that he built his bunker for his family, and she and Tiny Diamond join him. Meanwhile, after getting kicked out of a water park, the newlyweds are captured when they stumble upon the golf course following the smell of French fries. The trio sneaks into Mount Regis Mission Impossible style and finds Floyd, who warns them about Velvet's trap. She forged a letter to Brozone to lure them there. The twins capture the other brothers after JD parks in the spot marked reserved for Brozone and imprison them in their shoulder pads.
Wow!
Just as they're about to be executed, Viva recognizes Bridget in Poppy's scrapbook and lets them go. Crimp releases Rhonda at the concert, where Poppy and Branch expose them as frauds. A chase ensues, during which the twins put on an impromptu performance of Sweet Dreams and Fame, draining the trolls the entire time. The Bergens and Viva join the trio, and the latter apologizes to Poppy for being a pig-headed jerk.
Yeah?
The brothers, except for Floyd, are freed from Milli Vanilli's diamond-studded jackets, and with the latter on the brink of death, Branch leads the others, who are still trapped in Jules, in a performance of the new nsync song, Better Place. Their harmony shatters the gems, and though it's initially touch and go, Floyd survives. Veneer confesses on stage just before Crimp cuffs him and has them arrested for troll napping and tax evasion. Poppy and Branch kiss while Viva braids his hair. Back at Bruce and Sons, King Pepe reunites with his lost daughter, and the brothers throw a reunion show where Branch also reunites with nsync trolls. Branch, who's frosted his tips, proposes to Poppy that she join the band. Trolls band together is mostly a satire of boy band culture and the dynamics between the members of those groups. This approach had massive potential but was squandered by repetition and jokes that don't work. There are 2 boy band reunions for sakes, and by the second time the puns come out, they're already old. We heard you mention nsync the first time. Unfortunately, nsync the movie, Trolls Band Together, is the bottom of the barrel of the Trolls cinematic universe and a steep dive from the entertainment value of Trolls Holiday. Daveed Diggs is a welcome addition to the cast, but pop stars like Gwen Stefani have been replaced by the likes of comedian Amy Schumer. I know this is a cartoon and all, but that's no excuse for the plot to not make sense. For example, when Clay is filled in on a situation, he immediately asks why the others haven't called the authorities. They explain that the only thing that can break Floyd's cell is the perfect family harmony. But since the police do eventually arrest Velvet and Veneer at the end, they could have easily avoided a lot of problems and saved Floyd a lot sooner by calling the cops first and shattering the diamond before his life force is almost completely drained. Plus, how does Crimp skate on all this? She was a knowing accomplice the whole time. Even the music took a hit. None of the original songs are anywhere near as good as Trolls' #1 smash, Can't Stop the Feeling. Not even Better Place, NSYNC's first track in 22 years. But it is one of their best songs. A lot's changed since Branch was a pessimistic lone wolf who had to constantly save Poppy's self-absorbed from herself. Bridget was a scullery maid, and the Bergens were bloodthirsty monsters. But it hasn't all been for the best. The troll escapades have devolved from witty and fast-paced to cheesy and boring as shit. If you really want to see or show the kiddos an innocent animated fantasy featuring pint-sized singers, skip this trash and watch Trolls and Trolls Holiday instead. In other news, it's time to highlight some comments from another video. After checking out my early review of Justice League Warworld, Darthorian Darkwing said, "It's a shame, too, that Tomorrowverse started off pretty strong. This prompted Konoha's finest to add, LOL WTF. So one movie that, while isn't fantastic, tanks the whole universe. Damn, people's constitution are weak as fuck these days." The Warworld video also led Kurt349 to say, "It was just okay. Wonder Woman's part is my favorite. Superman's part is a nod to the Twilight Zone. Will the real Martian please stand up? I hate this left off on a cliffhanger, just like the previous two recent DCU movies. Quit making new ones and focus on continuing the ones you already have done. Tony Lunder's response to this comment was, I suspect the next 3 movies will be awesome. That cliffhanger leads directly to the Infinite Crisis storyline. Guess we'll find out, Tony. Shout out to Konoha's finest, Kurt349, and Tony Lunders for dropping comments. And rest in peace to Richard Roundtree.
Fully cinematic.
Wow.
Too much hustle is a thing.